Howdy YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name's Jason. It is February of 2025 in Ohio. It's been a couple months since I've been fishing. We've had 2 solid months of snow and ice, and I don't ice fish. Maybe I should. Maybe that's my problem, because I don't have anything better to do other than make a YouTube video and pretend like I know what I'm talking about. I really don't. Just a little disclaimer for you. Anyway, I want to talk about color selection in muskie fishing. And as I said in my last video, I'm still pretty new at this, but there are, I feel like, 3 colors that I've developed quite a bit of confidence in, that I feel like is 3 of them that's just kind of better than some of the other ones. Keep in mind, I live in Ohio. If you live in a different region, it might be different. I know in Minnesota, purple with gold blades is a pretty popular choice. I don't know the reasoning behind that. If you live in Minnesota and you know why, maybe there's a certain type of forage up there that those muskies like, let me know in the comments. I didn't really do any research, but I do know purple with gold blades is popular in Minnesota. I've never tried that in Ohio. Maybe I should this year. Maybe that's something I should try out. With that being said, let's talk about, let's start with number 3. Number 3 for me is going to be black. I feel like black is just one of those colors that is never a bad choice. Like there's probably certain conditions where there might be a better choice, but I've never heard anybody say, oh, black's a horrible choice. I think black's always a solid choice no matter where you go. Like a spinnerbait, black with nickel blades, I think is a really good choice. I was watching another muskie video on YouTube, and in the comments section there was a guy saying that he talked to Pete Mano one time, and Pete Mano is a very well-known muskie fisherman, and he told him that if you want to catch a muskie, tie on a black bucktail and keep it wet. Now, if he really said that, that's probably pretty good advice. Let's talk about the why. I think black here in Ohio is a very good imitator of maybe like a black crappie. A black crappie that's injured or panicked, trying to escape, 5-6 inch crappie. It's going to be hard for a muskie to resist that. So that's number 3 on my list, is black. Moving on to number 2, for me here in Ohio, is going to be gold, or some variation of gold. You can see this is a Mepps Muskie Killer. It's got some gold and yellow and black in there with a gold blade. 2 reasons I like gold. Here in Ohio, especially in the spring, our waters are usually pretty muddy. And gold is a good choice when your visibility is kind of low. It puts off a very good flash for murky waters. And there's another reason, and that is here in Ohio, ODNR, Ohio Department of Natural Resources, they stock muskies. Pretty much, probably every muskie in our reservoirs have been stocked, because I won't go into it, but our reservoirs here in Ohio do not allow muskie eggs to survive. So ODNR has a great stocking program. While those fingerlings, those baby muskies, are in ODNR's possession, wherever you want to say, they are fed goldfish. And so food for thought, gold is probably a pretty solid choice, especially when the water is a little bit dirty, a little bit murky. I was actually thinking about this earlier. I think the majority of the fish that I've caught at Piedmont have had some sort of gold to them. Gold seems to work really well at Piedmont. So that's number 2 on my list, is gold. And for those 2 reasons, our water is usually muddy, and these fish are fed goldfish when they're young. All right, number 1 is basically any sort of combination of silver and white with maybe a little bit of black built into it. And again, there's a couple reasons that this is number 1 on my list here in Ohio. When the waters start to clear up a little bit, I usually like to switch to silver and clearer waters. I feel like that's a better choice, white and silver. But number 2 reasons that this is my number 1 choice is the number 1 source of forage for these muskies here in Ohio are shad. And any sort of, like I said, any sort of white and silver with a little bit of black built into it is going to be an excellent imitator of a shad that, again, is injured or panicked, trying to flee. That's what these fish love lots of times. They love, it's a cat and mouse game. They love the chase. So that's number one on my list, is white, silver, anything that looks like this, looks like a shad. That should be number one on your list for catching muskies in Ohio. Let me know what colors you prefer for catching muskies and where you live. I'm kind of curious. Like I said, I'm still learning. But those are my top three. Thanks for watching.